What is up, and welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and we sometimes feature a beer of the week. I am Matt. With me, as always, is Lauren, and if this is your first time coming along, thanks for hanging out. I hope you stay. Come have a good time with us. Search Hops Geek News on any social media platform, any podcasting platform. That's the best way to find us. You can support the show, patreon.com/hopsgeeknews. You get to come and hang out at our Patreon movie nights where we select a movie each month to hang out and talk and play games with each other. You can get ad-free episodes, all of that good stuff. But today's episode is all about our Thunderbolts Pre-Show, where we're going to go into the last time that you saw the Thunderbolts characters in the MCU. No spoilers, but first things first, we'd like to go into what we've messed up on, what we've been reading or watching lately, and then some news, which Star Wars Celebration was last weekend. So we're going to have some news for you guys today. Go ahead and jump if you don't want to listen to any of that. The show notes have the timestamps. And with that said, my beer of the week comes from Treehouse Brewing out of Massachusetts. It is called this isn't Treehouse. Oh God, I messed up. This is Spyglass Brewing. It is. It's Spyglass out of Nashua, New Hampshire. Kung Fu Time Bomb. 8% hazy IPA. They released this while I was back home, and I figured it was a very, very great beer to have for this episode. So, Lauren, what are you drinking over there, Madam Lightning?
Well, I'm drinking a Treehouse, and it is a Treehouse. You gave it to me, the juice machine.
That one's good.
I didn't really tie it to anything with Thunderbolts. You could say like Bucky has a machine arm, or he was controlled like a machine.
I would have drank that, but it's okay.
Well, there's still time.
Now I've opened the Spyglass. The Spyglass is good. It almost has like a sweet candy-like flavor to the end at the back of it. It's a hazy IPA though, so interesting. I don't know, but
they say this is a marriage of King Julius malt bill with a hopping schedule more intense than that of Very Green.
It's delicious.
Two beers I really like.
Yeah, it's wicked good. Delish.
So you could call it a team up of some sorts.
There you go. We got it together, but you know, we didn't mess up on anything last episode. If you ever find something that we do mess up on, let us know. Drop our DMs. You can send us an email at hopsgeeknews@gmail.com. You can shout us out on social media, yell at us. I don't care what you do, man. If you find something, just let us know. But let's go into what we've been reading or watching. Why don't you kick us off this week?
So I read Deadpool / Wolverine. That one is really good. That's a Ben Percy run.
Oh, Ben Percy.
And so there's some mind controlling stuff going on, and Strife has showed up, and there's zombies going on. But Ben Percy just writes such a good Wolverine, but he does such a good Deadpool and Wolverine together, where it's like a good combination of like story mixed with banter, and
he gets it. He just gets it.
I love it. And I remember a few years ago when he was just doing the Wolverine run, and when Deadpool showed up, I remember telling him this is what I want in the movie, and we got it in the movie, so it makes me happy.
True.
Ghost Machine dropped another Hornsby and Halo. So this one's getting much better. It's been good from the beginning, but it's about, the kids that you have the angel child and the demon child, and, they're sent to Earth, and now they've just discovered what they are, but they're handling it as best that a couple of 12-year-olds would handle it. So it's really funny, but it's, they're also opening up where the story is getting deeper, and it's getting more like they're going to different realms, and it's not just these kids on Earth that are like, what's happening to my body? So it's so much more than that. Oh, it's 100%.
I'm very behind on that one. That's one of the stories I'm actually behind on. I know.
No, I feel like this gets better every issue. And the art was gorgeous in this one because they did go to heaven and hell. And, you see different demons, and it's just always so fun to see how people envision different mythical places.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you believe in heaven or hell, that's fine. I'm just saying places nobody has actually been to.
I don't know, man. Have you been to my work? That's pretty hellacious.
Hellacious sounds fun. So welcome to Twilight #2 came out. So this is in the Minor Threats universe. The stories are always 4 issues, but this one is an anthology. So we met somebody from Frankie's past. This wasn't my favorite of the Minor Threats, but I know that it's
Patton. It's okay.
Going. Was it Brian Bendis wrote this one?
Oh, really?
Michael Bendis wrote this one.
Okay.
Yeah. But the way they set this one up, so the issue 1 seemed like it was standalone. We might see this guy again. We might not. It was hilarious on its own. This issue, they're setting it up for something more. This is somebody from Frankie's past, Frankie Playtime, who we've met multiple times. My issue with it could have been because the cover had my 2 favorite characters, which are Crab Louie and Barfly, and they were not in it.
Oh, really? They're not? Okay.
They're not, but it was still really good. It still made me laugh. It still had some great action. It still had some story. But I guess I was expecting a closed end story, and I didn't get that.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I
But
got you.
Minor Threats has still been absolutely fantastic. And so I'm going to kick it to you before I talk about the book I just finished to continue the comic
Oh,
books for now.
snap. Yeah, let's go. Comic books. Let's talk about I did Absolute Martian Manhunter, Denise Camp, and Javier Rodriguez are on it.
I actually
I
have that one.
You did. I This is issue 2. Did you get issue 2 yet?
Oh, no, I got my comic book shop randomly put issue 1 in my box. I think 'cause I got
Oh, good for
Absolute
you.
Batman.
I love Epic
Now then they
Comics,
put
man. Shout out to
Absolute
them.
Flash in there, and yeah.
Oh, okay. Don't even get.
I have
Anyways,
to catch up. I've been reading books. I haven't been reading comics as
well,
much
I'll be
lately.
honest. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. This is the
I
weakest
saw
in
you
my
and Ken
everyone's
going
rating.
back and forth on
Yeah,
that.
Ken loves it. I personally, I think the story is a little too confusing. There's a whole lot of nothing going on yet. But I love the artwork, and I mean this in the most loving way possible. I think the artwork kind of distracts from the story at the same time.
Did look very,
It's such
very
amazing.
artsy.
Javier absolutely kills it. But I think for me, it's too distracting from the actual story. So I'd be interested to
Ah,
hear what people think. Everyone's raving about it, as they should. I do not want to take anything away from this. I
now I'm
do
more
think that it's
curious.
good. For me, something is missing. I also read Absolute Wonder Woman #7. Now, by Kelly Thompson is a writer. Dude, oh my God. I just, this one is Hades and Persephone watching as Diana fights Chimera in a battle
Ah,
arena of sorts. And I love the amount of detail in the artwork. And more importantly, though, the things that Kelly is doing with Diana is just incredible. I love the subtle changes that they're doing, but the core of her character is there, and it's so damn good. I absolutely am loving Absolute Wonder Woman. That is a must grab. And then I read another DC, which was Peacemaker presents Eagly or Vigilante Eagly double feature. Excuse me, Jesus, mouth tongue twister. Issue #2. Now, the first part is by James Gunn's the overarching, story consultant, but you have Mitch Gerrits. My God, I am so
you were
terrible.
butchering his name when we interviewed him.
I don't know why I want to keep saying I know this man. We talk. It's Gerrits. Oh my Lanta. I don't know what is wrong. Like, Mitch, get a
We
better
all have
no, I'm
those
just kidding.
random words we can't say.
Mitch, please get a better last name, buddy. Please. No,
Oh,
just
poor
kidding. I'm
Mitch.
kidding.
Your
I'm
last
kidding.
name's fine. I
Yeah,
like it.
he's fine. You're good, sweetie. But Tim Seeley is on that one. Rex Ogle is another one. Mateo, I forget his last name off the top of my head because I didn't
I
write
didn't
it
even say
down.
anybody's name except Ben
But
Percy. I'm a
Pat
terrible person.
Brossow. Anyways, though, this is fun. So the first half of the book is always about Vigilante. Peacemaker's missing. Vigilante's his best friend. I think it's tying into the
Show?
season. Yeah, I think it's tying because James Gunn's
Okay. I was
on
wondering
the
that. Are they
consultant.
gonna, like, make some of these canon or no? They're not
I
gonna do
think
like
they
Star
might.
Wars.
No, I think they might.
I mean, that'll be something Marvel hasn't done.
Well, actually, no, I think they are because they talked about how the comics and games and everything are going to be playing into it. So I think they will. But regardless, it's still really good. Like, I love the art differences. For example, John Kali's, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He also does some of the artwork, but Mitch, his artwork with Vigilante and the capturing of the spirit of Vigilante. And then we roll into Peacemaker and the League of Shadows are after him. And he's just trying to be on vacation. I'm really enjoying this comic. It's super fun, man. I think people need to pick this up. It's only going to be 5 issues. We're on issue 2 now. Pick that up. And then the last comic that I read is one that I think everybody needs to pick up. It's Predator versus Spider-Man. Now, Ben Percy is the one writing this, and Ben Percy knows his Predator. You can catch our MegaCon interview with Ben Percy where we kind of talk about this a little bit. It's on our YouTube, and if you just search it, oh my God, it's so good. He's definitely taking elements of Predator 2 with the heat wave, but this time it's New York City. Spider-Man thinks, he kind of plays and finds the serial killer. J. Jonah Jameson's out there. And the Predator rips somebody's face off and wears his skin, for example. And it's so gnarly and graphic. Do not let anybody, it's rated 17 up. But holy crap, this book was the book of the week for me. Y'all got to read this. Damn. Read it. Yeah. So that's what I've read. Now, watching wise, Last of Us, which we talked about. WrestleMania, watch that. don't really care. Andor, I'm not going to talk about because you haven't watched it yet, but I did watch a movie. You're muted, but I did watch a movie called Sinners, a little movie you might have heard of right now called Sinners. And when I tell you, it's got Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, this cast is stacked. Oh my God, this is the movie of the year. It is my favorite vampire movie of all time. This movie
The
is,
vampire movie? I had no idea.
oh yeah, it's a
Why did I
vampire.
think it was like some sort of historical thing?
No, well, because Ryan Coogler does some really cool historical tie-ins, especially with the Black culture, with the Irish culture, with
I thought it
even the
was
Navajo
about.
culture. Oh my God, dude, it is
For some
so.
reason, I thought it was about slavery.
No, it's got things to do with like the KKK. There's such a satisfying ending to it, but it is absolutely unreal. There is one shot sequence about the music that goes absolutely hard, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody out there, especially Lauren, but just know that this is the movie of the year. This is my favorite movie of the year. It is so damn good. You have to watch this.
I just keep
I'm
hearing
dying.
it's fantastic.
You
I
have
just
to see
like
this movie.
I almost want to know less about movies before I see them. I just want to know if they're worth seeing.
They are worth seeing. It's a 10 out of 10, best movie of the year. I cannot say enough. You have to go see it. That's what I have been watching. Why don't you wrap up with everything that you've been doing?
So I finished a book last night called Dead Kids Club by Rick Hosek. So I actually met
Why is
him
that
at
so- oh,
GalaxyCon.
that's why it sounds familiar.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's telling me about this book, and I'm having no idea he actually wrote the book. I thought
He was the
just
writer,
standing
and
in
now
the
he's
booth.
telling
Yeah.
you, we're like, oh, I thought you were just the one selling it. Okay.
And so then I walked away, and then I came back like 5 minutes later. I was because I had texted a couple girlfriends. I was like, "Hey, what do you guys think of this book?" And they're like, "That sounds fascinating." So I came back and I'm like, "I want to buy the book." So I finished the book. The book's really good. By the time this comes out, my full review should be up on Nerd Initiative because we have started a book club. We've released quite a few book reviews this past week. Yeah, there was somebody did a review on Batman. We had one on like how to be a dark.
It wasn't
Lord
just Batman; it's the Batman
trying.
Resurrection that we talked with the. Well, we didn't get to talk with the writer, but we did hear about it. It's in that universe of Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, and Batman Returns.
Yeah,
and so it's canon to that universe. So his full review's up there, and he did an interview with the author, whose name is escaping me, even though I'm going to be reading.
We are terrible with names. My God, this is why nobody listens to us.
Only we could Google while we were interviewing.
Oh my God,
if only. We were recording.
Yeah, well, you're right.
So why don't you look that up?
Okay, while you do that,
I'm going to finish talking about this movie, and I already found it. It is John Jackson Miller.
It's John Jackson Miller. I found it. Duh.
I knew it was 3 names.
Silly goose.
So I like reading these, like, because I'm going through like editing these reviews or just proofreading these reviews before I push him, and I'm like, I want to read this book. I want to read that book. So so Dead Kids Club. So what it's about is basically it's a group. It's like a support group for parents who have lost children, and some of these parents who have lost children lost them in a way that these people were being criminally negligent but got off. So like a drunk driver runs over your kid, but they get off because they're tied to the mob or because they know the local police or something like that, or they know the DA.
Oh, we getting some vigilante justice.
So then some parents start to do some dextering, and it's very interesting because it's not just a simple like, oh, yay, kill the next bad guy. Yay. You know, obviously they want to get away with it. Obviously they're still dealing with the worst thing anybody could literally ever deal with. And so they're still processing that and grieving that. And like, nothing's going to bring their son back or any of these other children back. But there's a whole mob story going on at the same time, which I'm a sucker for a good mob story. So it was really cool to see these two things kind of intertwine and how they all connect. And sometimes when you're reading a book, it's almost like when you watch Seinfeld, you're like, how would that really all connect? But how many times in real life have you been like, how do you know that person? Oh my God, that's so funny that this happened.
Well,
like,
it's crazy. You know,
really
like I ran into that person in Fort Lauderdale who I went to middle school with, for example.
Exactly. All right,
that's crazy.
You gotta take it off just me.
Nope. We're staring at you the rest of the episode.
I don't want to do that. So that's what I've been reading and watching this week. On The Last of Us, obviously we cover that. I did watch first episode of Andor.
I watch Disney, like, dog. I can't be doing these 3 episodes at 9 p.m. on Eastern every week. I'm old. I'm tired. Okay. I struggled. I got through almost 2 episodes before falling asleep on the couch last night. Like, come on, man. Can we just do the weekly release? But whatever. Let's go into some news. We are going to dive into some news. So first, before we dive into Star Wars, there was a trailer for Wednesday. Now they're splitting it into
for Wednesday. Are you
Part
still watching
1,
that show?
I mean, I watched the first season. There's this, if you let me finish,
Sorry.
geez, season 2, part 1 comes out August 6th, and part 2 comes out in September because Netflix hates its subscribers. And rather than doing a weekly release, they're going to release things in parts, which is why I still haven't watched Cobra Kai, the 3 parts that they've released. And I think
Oh
the
yeah,
part
I need to finish
releases are
Cobra Kai.
garbage.
I have a
So,
lot of
yeah.
shows to finish. Oh, what
Why
else? Oh, Black Mirror is out.
is did they release that in parts too? Because it's
I
stupid.
did watch the first
Weekly
one of that.
releases, please. My gosh. I watched Love on the Spectrum season 3, by the way. Oh my God, I would die for Connor. If Connor and Georgie ever break up, to anybody who watched that show and knows what I'm talking about, if those two ever break up, I will kill myself.
That
Anyways,
seems extreme.
let's go into the Star Wars news. Why don't you kick us off? What's happening on May the 4th?
So this one we
This
kind
is
of
a cool
already
popcorn bucket I got behind me.
we already knew about this. Tales of the Underworld. I didn't realize it was called Tales of the Underworld though. So that's the 6th
Because you
story
don't listen to
coming out
me
on May
or
the
read
4th.
anything I ever text you, apparently. Okay, that's fine. This is how I got to find out. This is how I got to find out.
I'm old and I drink a lot of beer. I have a short-term memory.
Okay. I'm in
So
your comfort zone, so you just ignore me. And now I know how Josh feels. I get him.
What'd you say?
Exactly.
So September 19th, there is a new Lego movie coming on Disney Plus. This is a Star Wars movie called Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces.
Do you like the Star Wars? Do you like the Lego movies like this?
The ones I've watched, I think were cute. I thought the Christmas one was really cute. I think they're fun to watch with the kids.
Fair. Aside from the actual Lego movie or Lego Batman, I've never really gotten into these Lego shorts, even though I love Legos, as you can see.
No, I think they're fun to watch. Like Logan, enjoys them. So, and I thought the Christmas one again. I thought that one was great. I thought it was really
cute.
Funny. Yeah, it was cute.
I never watched the Darth Jar Jar one though, so because I know I don't know. They don't keep my attention span, and I am curious. In this one, maybe I'll check it out. I just don't like brickheads, and that's on the poster. So ew.
Oh, those are the big ones.
Yeah, the brickheads are just kind of whatever, but we do get Young Jedi Adventures season 3, which comes out in fall of 2025. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even watch season 2 or season 1, so I haven't.
Oh, I didn't either. I don't think we're the target market.
We're not.
Logan
it's
is
for
the target
kids.
market.
Again, it's for kids. Yeah. Now, this one got us actually banned. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I got us suspended for 3 days on the gram. Mandalorian and Grogu trailer unofficially released at Star Wars Celebration. It comes out May 22nd, 2026. Yes.
Is it still not posted anywhere?
No, they haven't officially released it. No, nope, just so screen grab, man. Yeah. Unfortunate. Well, this next one I'm pretty excited for. What is this next piece of news?
So Darth Maul is getting his own show called Maul, Shadow Lord, season 1, which will come out sometime in the year 2020.
Yeah. Did you see what it's about?
I didn't.
It takes place where he's in charge of,
Mandalore?
No, This is before Solo, where he's the crime boss.
Oh.
Whose name all of a sudden escapes me. It's something Sun. Oh my gosh. Who am I?
Oh, yeah. So they're going back. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. They're going back in time with it a little bit.
Black Hole Sun. That was what you were saying.
I started singing Black Hole Sun in my head.
You kept saying that with the Black
and then I said
Sky
Maud Sun, but Maud Sun used to be engaged to Avril Lavigne. Oh my lord. This is
Vision.
embarrassing. Oh my god.
Anyway,
yes.
Right?
Anyways.
Okay.
Yes. The Star Wars Celebration, the 50th anniversary of Star Wars at that, will be held in LA April 1st through 4th, 2027. I think we should plan for that, honestly.
Yeah, it's 2027. We got time.
I think we should plan to be there. I really do. It's the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, man. 50th anniversary.
The Cantina reservation now.
There we go. Now we also have a Star Wars Starfighter film coming out May 28th, 2027 with Ryan Gosling as a Jedi who is with his child on the run from 2 bad guys, essentially, is the overall premise. Now, Sean Levy, who you know from Deadpool and Wolverine, will be working on it. It is 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker, will be a standalone. I'm curious. We never quite got any information on anything to do with, Rey or Finn or any of them at Star Wars Celebration. So I'm curious about that. Seems weird. And
she was supposed to get her own movie.
That's what I'm saying. And that was supposed to have already been filming. I don't know. We don't know. It was supposed to have already been filming and they haven't mentioned anything. It's not filming. I know that, but weird. I don't know. Maybe it's the Untitled one coming out in December 2027.
Yeah. What is this Untitled? That doesn't even that seems ridiculous.
Because Star Wars loves nothing more than throwing things out there that will never get made. And this is probably one of them. Same with Taika Waititi, who will never actually make a Star Wars film.
And James Mangold, Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, and Simon Kinberg and Dave Filoni are all supposed to have movies that are untitled. I mean, you could at least put out like I mean, they change titles all the time, but
They
like,
do.
what is this
That's
going to be
fine.
about? Is it going to be about,
Well,
the fall of
weren't we supposed to
Mandalore?
get
Is it
that
going to be
first
about Yoda? Like, come
Jedi?
on.
Remember when that very first Force user, we were supposed to get the film about that, and we haven't heard anything about that now.
I don't know.
It's very frustrating as a Star Wars fan, but we
Yeah, you
are
got to
getting
keep
a
the
game
people
next
engaged.
year. Zero Company is coming out in 2026 set during the Clone Wars. It's going to be a first-person shooter, adventure
You
type
fought in the
game.
Clone Wars?
I did. And this game comes out. I'm really excited for this, actually. I've been dying for another game where I get to play in the war, if you will.
I wish they would do something with what's his face? Cal Kestis. Like, when are they going to do something with him?
We will lose half of our audience if I go into why Disney doesn't know what to do with Star Wars. I don't know why.
As somebody who doesn't play the games and loves Cameron Monaghan,
as somebody who
really want that to happen,
loves Star Wars, and there's so much out there that you can pull from, the fact that they keep announcing things with not a name and then they just disappear, it's so hard sometimes to be positive, but I love Star Wars so much. Like, Andor is so good, and Ahsoka season 2 starting to film. And speaking of Ahsoka season 2, Admiral Akbar is going to be coming back and is going to go head to head with Thrawn, for example.
What?
Yes, and
is it going to be a trap?
We even got the Hound, his first look as Balin Skull.
He looks pretty good.
He does look really good. And so
it is a bittersweet moment. Yeah,
it's crazy that we had these absolute banger moments, but then they just seem to forget how to Star Wars. And it just gets so frustrating because there's so much us Star Wars fans are salivating. We're like, yes, give us.
But Filoni is just as big as a fan as we are.
Look, I know it's got to be
trying his
frustrating for them
best.
too.
He's got to cross all those T's and dot all those I's, do all the red tape.
Yeah.
And try to make as many people happy as possible, which is impossible.
Sure. And shout out to Gibson, by the way, in our Discords. He was really killing it on the day 3 coverage because I was watching WrestleMania, so I wasn't paying attention. He put a lot of this in the notes. There's going to be some
day 3 coverage was on Easter, wasn't it?
That too. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy that they did that on Easter.
Hayden Christensen was even saying how there's a lot of Vader stories that they could still dive into. Like, give me that. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, he's coming back.
He is. He'll be in Ahsoka season 2, actually.
I mean, do you look at Ahsoka that when they did the Clone Wars flashbacks, like that was phenomenal.
It was. Oh my gosh, some of the best moments from that show. Now, there are some shorts that are coming out. So Star Wars Visions is getting another season, but there's going to be some shorts titled The Bounty Hunters. So the first one's going to be called The Song of Four Wings, The Bird of Paradise, and Black for Visions Volume 3. It premieres in October. Now, while Volume 2 is experimenting with different art styles worldwide, Volume 3 is going to be a return to the Japanese anime styles, with 3 studios returning from Volume 1. One of the shorts will be a sequel to the first Vision short, The Duel, entitled The Duel Payback. Ooh. Also, the studio that made The Village Bride will make a short called The Lost Ones. And Production IG, which created Gibson's personal favorite short, The Ninth Jedi, will be making a sequel to that short called The Ninth Jedi, Child of Hope. So,
say the Ninth Jedi.
Very original.
You don't watch these though, do you?
I did. I thought they were good.
Watch them?
I thought, now they're not anime like you would think traditional anime. They're very artistic. And
are they canon? Oh, sorry. Nobody knows.
I don't know.
And that could even change. Gotcha. All right. What were you saying before I cut you off?
No, I was just saying they're very good. I do like them. And again, shout out to Gibson. That's kind of what I got on news and Star Wars this week. Do you have anything to add before we go into our main topic?
Don't believe so. I'm ready to talk some Thunderbolts because I rewatched some movies and I did a lot of work on this. And I'm very excited.
I did nothing and Lauren did it all. So here we go as we dive into
we'll have to edit it.
The Thunderbolts Pre-Show. We'll be back in just a second.
Bunnytail Designs Co. is out of this galaxy, with bags for any and every occasion you just may need. Maximum effort was put into every bag, and there's koozies too. Whether you're raising muggles or wizards, these are the bags for you. Or hunting demons, or running from demigorgons, or traveling the galaxy. So get a bag and peep that fit. Great for kids too. Cheers.
All right, we're back. We're going to try to keep this chronological. So Valentina Allegra de Fontaine will be sprinkled throughout.
You can call her
So
Val, but
you
don't call her
could.
Val.
Only her friends call her Val. Now, why don't you kick us off here? Take us away, because you did the heavy lifting this week.
So three of our, I was going to say three of our Guardians, three of our Thunderbolts are Yelena Belova, Alexei, aka Red Guardian, and Antonia, aka Taskmaster. All three of
Yes,
these
Taskmaster,
characters,
who's certainly set up for death because she's in none of the marketing.
every time I hear her name,
She's not even on the red
song,
carpet.
I always want to sing the track, Master. What means the world to me? Snap
I have
and
no
bras,
idea
menage a trois.
what?
So
What
all three of these
kind of
characters
trap
were
music are you?
introduced in Black Widow in 2021. I think you're just too young. However, this movie primarily takes place in 2016, right after Civil War. So here is a recap of Black Widow. If you were to watch one movie before this, I would recommend watching Black Widow.
Honestly, Black Widow would be the best because that's... And then I would honestly watch the opening sequence. Well, not the opening sequence, but Yelena, her introduction, of what happened to her during the blip in Hawkeye.
Yes, we have that. We have that in here.
Oh, sorry. Of course, I didn't read the prompter. See what happens when I try to go off script.
It's okay. We'll get there. So this movie starts in 1995. We see a 6-year-old Yelena with her big sister Natasha, along with Melina and Red Guardian. They are pretending to be a family in Ohio as they steal secrets from S.H.I.E.L.D., who was actually Hydra then. It was information about mind control in the Winter Soldier program. So as the 3-year mission ends, Red Guardian is sent to prison. The girls get sent to the Black Widow Red Room, and Melina goes and does some mind control research on some pigs for Dreykov. And that is the not very nice guy, very evil dude who runs the Black Widow Red Room and controls and kills girls worldwide. So now we're in present day. Natasha is running away from General Ross for violating the Sokovia Accords in Civil War. While hiding, the guy helping her delivers mail from a safe house in Budapest, or Budapest, as she would say. Where her and Clint shared some very different memories. So in the mail is a red gas and a picture of Nat with her long-lost little sister, Yelena. Suddenly, Taskmaster shows up, but she's not after Nat. She's after the gas because she is being controlled by Dreykov, and the gas can stop that control. Yelena has been being controlled and was given the gas, which is why she sent it to Nat. She thought an Avenger could help and free the Black Widows. She even says to Nat at some point, like, I kept expecting to see Captain America on the news freeing the Red Room, and Natasha thought the Red Room was gone. She didn't know it was still there. Eventually, Nat and Yelena find each other in Budapest, and they avoid Taskmaster because they're super awesome. Then they decide they have to find the Red Room and stop all of this. So they break Alexei out of prison, thinking he might know where it is. And then the three of them go and find Melina.
Love him, man.
And they have a family reunion because he says, I bet Mom will know where the Red Room is. Melina called Dreykov. And she's like, hey, they're here. But she immediately regrets that. And they devise a plan to take care of the Red Room from the inside. Because you even see, like, Melina had kept, like, the fake family photos. And, like, you know, there was a part of her in that 3 years she was genuinely enjoying being their mom.
They were spies. And then they had the whole sequence in the beginning where they're getting away on the plane and stuff like that. And
it was heartbreaking, yeah.
I think that while it came out in the wrong time, perhaps we judged Black Widow a little too harshly.
I thought Black Widow was fantastic. I really liked it.
I think perhaps that movie is going to be revisited fondly as we get more Yelena and Red Guardian.
I mean,
because it just came out at a wrong time. Like, Natasha was already dead after, Endgame. Yeah. And it felt very phase 2, which was fine. And then it also came out during COVID. It was one of the first movies to get put on streaming, direct to streaming. But it, for all of its faults, Taskmaster.
No, it was in the theater too. I saw it in the theater.
Oh yeah,
but you could buy it for like $30.
Yes, that's right. That's when because
that was with the lawsuit.
The next movie, Encanto, right after, my kids decided to buy against my knowledge, and we were actually recording when I found out that purchase got made. But
yeah, I remember. I think I had a mask on watching Black Widow. But we actually saw it in 4D. It was my first 4D movie.
Oh man, so if I don't get lit on fire at the Revenge of the Sith, there's no 4D near me, but if I had a 4D theater near me, and if I didn't get lit on fire when Anakin gets his limbs cut off, I want my money back, dude. Anyways,
I'll let you know because I'm gonna try to go.
If I watch a 40X movie with Dr. Doom and he doesn't snap me out of existence,
Deadpool and Wolverine was too much in 4D because all that like shaking the.
We watched Shang-Chi in 4D, and it's constant like, oh my gosh, I can't watch superhero movies in 4D. I don't recommend it, but.
It is too much. But I do want to see Revenge of the Sith in 4D. But okay, so So Natasha always thought that she had killed both Dreykov and his daughter, but she learned she did not. And the daughter is actually a weaponized Black Widow who can mimic other people's fighting. And this is Taskmaster. So you can see she actually fights like Natasha, which I love when Natasha does the leg thing and pulls people down because she's little, but she's using their weight against them.
That's smart fighting, man.
Yeah. And so you see Taskmaster then do that to her, which is like a really cool fight scene. I don't know why people like that. This movie's so freaking good.
Yeah.
I think you're right though too. I think now that people are going to see like these characters are still moving on, they might
go
back
look
and
back
realize,
on this fondly.
Right, it wasn't just a Black Widow movie; it was a Yelena origin movie. It was a Red Guardian origin movie. Okay, so she has the shield that she uses like Cap uses. She's shooting arrows like Hawkeye.
Because Taskmaster's abilities are copying the moveset of the person that they're fighting. Yeah.
She's a mimic, and she's programmed to mimic how you're fighting. So after a lot of fighting and coordinating, the whole place, the Red Room, comes crashing down because it was actually in the sky, and they all managed to survive miraculously.
That's right. I forgot it was in the sky. That's a silly part to me. Right. Whatever.
Everything's kind of like coming down, Red Guardian even apologizes to the girls for the way that they were treated because he was like eager to get back to being Red Guardian, and they were like, Yelena's like, she was 3 when they adopted her and 6 when she gets sent to the Red Room, so that was the only family she ever knew.
Yeah.
So the red gas is dispersed and many of the Black Widows are freed, including Taskmaster, aka Antonia. Once her mind is free, she immediately asks if he's gone, referring to her father, who is Dreykov, who Yelena definitely did explode. It looks like she's sacrificing herself. You see Dreykov explode for real this time. And of course, Natasha then goes and saves Yelena. General Ross
I was going to say, this is the last time we saw General Ross, which is pretty sad because William Hurt looked rough. Poor guy. I mean, obviously we know why. It was. Yeah.
She even makes a comment about his health, which they tied into Captain America: Brave New World.
They did. It was all clever, but at the same time, like William Hurt was looking
actually
bad,
sick
and
too, yeah.
It's always sad,
Yeah, that is sad, especially because he started so early in the MCU. Yeah. He didn't get to finish it. I mean, Harrison Ford did a beautiful job as Red Hulk.
He was in the really underrated Hulk movies.
Yeah,
movie.
I agree.
You will. Anyways.
But yeah, so he gets alerted to the explosion. He comes looking for Natasha. So of course she dips out alone. As all the widows, Yelena and Melina, Alexei, and Taskmaster all get onto a plane together with a mission to free all the other widows around the world. Before parting ways, Natasha and Yelena do their little whistle thing to each other. The whatever it is.
I was smoking weed, but that's what they did.
But that's relevant later on in Hawkeye. So now this is the very last time we have seen Red Guardian, other than What If, but that's a different universe.
Yeah.
And Taskmaster as they leave together. But we'll get to more.
I'm very curious on that one. They left together, so I'm curious
if they continue to work together. We should find out.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Hopefully we do. Because take us to we're good. We're gonna go to Yelena. We saw Yelena in a flashback in Hawkeye that takes place in 2018. She's trying to free a widow who was already free, had a family and everything. Good for her. Now she goes to the bathroom, and that's that really crazy sequence where she basically blinks and she comes back, and she's still in the bathroom. Her friend catches her up. Yeah, and she was very confused. That was, in my opinion, the best scene showcase. I will always wish we'd gotten more from the blip timeline because it's scenes like this that are crazy. She's going in there and she disappears. What was that like for the family in there? She's gone, and then she comes back as though she blinked her eyes, and now she's freaking out. She has to find Natasha, who she finds out is dead. So now she goes on this crazy adventure to kill Clint. And
don't get ahead. We're not there yet.
Sorry, you're right. I got excited. My bad. Okay, chronologically, this is when we see Ghost and Ant-Man and the Wasp. 2018. This is a movie that takes place before the blip. However, the end credit scene takes place at the exact moment the blip occurs. So Ava's dad worked with Hank Pym. Hank, of course, said that he stole his work, but we know Hank doesn't really work well with others. And while working, an explosion was about to happen. Ava's dad told her mom and her to run, but Ava instead ran to her dad. The explosion killed both of her parents and left her with an uncontrollable phasing ability. basically the cells in her body, and constantly ripping apart and put back together. So she's in pain constantly, and hence the name Ghost, because she's able to like poof back and forth. Now, Bill, who is Hank's other former friend and partner, tries to help Ava. Now, this is Lawrence Fishburne, if you remember, and really cares for her. However, at the
I
same
thought you said
time,
Lawrence Fishburne. I'm like, my Fishburne?
No,
Lawrence Fishburne, the actor.
Lawrence
Yes, it is him.
Fishburne.
Correct.
Oh my God.
I was like,
Morpheus,
what is-
man. Lawrence Fishburne? No, I did. I'm not, there's
I
nothing on
didn't
the
burn
grill.
any fish.
What are you talking about? So Shield gives her a suit that helps her controls her powers. This is when they also send her on missions. Now, is it Shield or is it Hydra? To stop the pain, Ava
true.
needs quantum energy. So if Hank can pull Janet from the quantum realm, which is basically what this entire movie is about, we know that Janet got sent there. Hank is trying to get her back. Then Ava can then suck that energy to stop the pain. However, Hank and Bill worry that will kill Janet. Ava then manages to steal the lab, which has been shrunk, and multiple people are trying to steal it in a fun pursuit through San Francisco. The suit and Ava's chamber help the pain, but they're not helping as much as they used to. She only has a few weeks left to live. She is so desperate. My God, I can talk. She suggests kidnapping Scott's daughter, Cassie Lang. Bill puts his foot down, says,
We are not touching that child.
No, we don't kidnap. All right.
No,
Hank, Hope, and Scott then find Bill and Ava at Hank's lab. They stop them. Hank promises her that he will find a cure after he rescues Janet from the quantum realm, and inside the lab, he enters the quantum realm. Meanwhile, outside, there is some more fighting, some more chasing. Walter Goggins as Sonny is involved, so is Sweet Jimmy. Woo! Everybody wants the lab. I forgot Walter Goggins.
Walter Goggins. He's everywhere now. You can't escape Walter Goggins.
It's Walton Goggins. Jeez.
Apparently you can. They escaped him.
They did. They managed. Ava gets the remote from the lab from Luis right as Janet and Hank reunite. They are ready to come home.
Aww.
Ava is still on a mission as Bill tells her to stop because she may kill Janet. She's not listening at all. She knocks Bill out. She starts taking that sweet, sweet quantum energy. And at that point, she's ready to fight. Yeah. Janet's feeling the whole thing. Scott manages to stop Ava. A family reunion happens with Hope and her parents. Hooray!
Woohoo!
Ghost is still amped up and ready to tussle, if you will. Janet lays her hands on her, stops her pain with her glowing quantum energy hands. Bill's trying to help Ava and is told by her to leave. She hurt people and he didn't, so he should leave her to avoid any trouble. He refuses. Boom, the end. However, it's not the end.
Oh, wait,
because
there's more.
The end credit scene where Hank, Janet, and Hope snapped. While Scott is going into the quantum realm, Scott gets stuck. He doesn't get snapped. He's stuck there for 5 hours to him, but it's 5 years in real life because they were going to get quantum healing particles for Ghost.
Dun, dun, dun.
Are we going to get an explanation on that?
I forgot that was why he was in the quantum realm.
They went to help Ghost and he just...
Healing powers. They say we're going to get quantum healing powers for our friend Ghost.
Did Ghost get snapped? But then he comes back and fights Thanos, and does he help Ghost again?
I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out. We got to find out in Thunderbolts,
Are we? I hope so.
How long did the quantum energy that Janet gave her last? Has she been in pain? Maybe she did snap. I guess we'll find out.
Close. Maybe she did. I guess hopefully we will. I don't know. That's a very good question.
She was stable when Janet helped her, but I didn't remember that's why he was there. So then I was like, oh my goodness, she is responsible.
They just kind of forgot that Scott was supposed to help. But the rat was responsible for bringing everybody back because the rat accidentally got Scott back, and then Scott thought about quantum time jumping. Ant-Man saved the universe. Okay, I will hear nothing.
Ant-Man, a rat, and Ghost being in pain, and the Hulk. He helped.
The Hulk snapped. He did the least bit possible for the Hulk.
No, he helped figure out the time travel. Remember, he's like, "This. I'm counting this as an absolute success. Time travel." He was the one that did Paul Rudd. Ant-Man, Scott was smart enough to understand what needed to be done, but he didn't have the level of education to implement it, whereas Hulk did, or Bruce did.
Yeah.
So it was a collaborative effort.
You know what? Fine. Ant-Man still did it. Why don't you take us into John Walker, a.k.a. the U.S. Agent?
All right. So we recently recapped all of this in our Falcon and Winter
We did.
episode that we got ready for Captain America that came out in 2021, which is where John Walker was introduced and the last time he's been seen. The government is trying to make him the new Captain America. He's a condensed version of his. So this is a condensed version of his rise and fall on that show because we did just do a whole thing. He is in What If, but again, different multiverse. So John Walker, aka the fake Captain America, and his BFF Lamar are sent to help Sam and Bucky find the Flag Smashers. They are very helpful, but Sam and Bucky do not like them. In fact, oh my gosh, I just brain farted on Lamar's name. He Battlestar. Is it Battlestar? Battlestruck? Battlestar.
Battle something, yeah.
I think it's Battlestar. And Lamar tells Bucky his name and he's like, stop the car. So John is a major D-bag and gets all upset when he gets his ass kicked by some non-super soldier Dora Milaje. I think his little ego was hurt because he got beat up by some girls. So eventually they find Carly, who very negligently kills Lamar. And because she
Flag Smashers were on some stuff.
But yeah, she was on the super soldier serum. John finds one of the vials and takes it himself. He then murders one of her goons in front of a crowd and instantly changes the Captain America shield from a symbol of freedom and hope to an actual murder weapon in front of a whole bunch of people.
It was kind of a gnarly scene, man. He wants to do good so badly, but the government tosses him aside, and he just... The dude has PTSD. He needs a therapist.
Clearly.
And
maybe he got the same therapist as Bucky. That'd be nice.
Maybe.
It'd be a fun callback. Have her show up.
That John Walker is sympathetic in those regards.
Yes. And so he does have a redemption arc. So Bucky and Sam corner Walker, and the three of them actually go at it, and not in the fun way. Eventually, Sam and Bucky pry the shield off Walker by breaking his arm, which is gross.
And they pry the shield off, yeah.
And Bucky gives Sam a look as he tosses the shield at him like, you better not give this up again. Captain America killing someone internationally, Captain America with quotes, because it's, John Walker's not Captain America, killing someone internationally in front of Captain America in quotes, killing someone internationally in front of a crowd has made it so the U.S. military no longer has jurisdiction over this matter. And Walker is stripped of all titles and benefits. Now enter Valentino Allegra de Fontaine. You can call her Val, but don't call her Val. She will be in touch as she hands Walker a card with nothing on it. Walker makes his own piece of crap shield, and he wants to go after Carly, but he ends up doing the right thing at the end of the day and helping Bucky and Sam save some hostages and arrest some Flag Smashers. However, some of them end up going whatever anyways because Zemo's butler blows them up. But that's irrelevant to Walker's character development. And last we see Walker, Val is waiting for him to come out in his new U.S. agent outfit.
That's true. Which leads us to Bucky Barnes, which we could honestly do an entire episode on because he's been a part of the MCU since the first Avenger in 2011.
Lord, 14 years. That's how long I've been married.
Oh my God, I hit 10 years tomorrow. Yay. Now, we're going to give you clip notes. Very, very simplistic. Sergeant James Bucky Buchanan Barnes is Steve Rogers' best friend for life. He's missing in action while some World War II shenanigans. Meanwhile, Steve gets super soldier serum. He finds and rescues his best friend. While fighting some Nazis, Bucky falls from a train on a very high mountain. And this is when he is then brainwashed, forced to take the super soldier serum. He's then tortured by Hydra for decades. He was even forced to kill Tony Stark's parents, which then they ganged up on Tony Stark and beat his ass instead of just apologize. Listen, man, whatever. We could have a simple hey, dude, let's talk this out.
Did you know?
He killed my mom.
I know. That's sad. I mean, he always had a tumultuous relationship with his father.
This dude just found out who killed his mom, and then you tag teamed and beat his ass. What are we? All right. Anyways, in Winter Soldier, Steve learns that Bucky's alive. He actually saves Steve in the end. Yeah, Steve gets shot. They have a fight. The helicarriers. Woo! That's where we find out Hydra has been in S.H.I.E.L.D. the whole time. In Civil War, it's believed that he attacked T'Chaka. However, he did not attack and kill T'Chaka. But Steve finds him, protects him, along with the help of Sam, who did not want to help initially. Sam and Bucky quickly become frenemies by not moving their seats forward. They fight side by side in Infinity War. The both of them blip. They then fight Thanos again, and that's when they win in Endgame because Sam says,
"Unless you think
Bucky,
Thanos
on your
is right.
Cap on your left."
On your left.
Sadly, they both then say their goodbyes to Steve, and that's the end of their line. Even though Steve's just an old man. End of the line. But Steve didn't die. He's just an old man at that point. So they said goodbye.
I hope they went and visited him
Time out. Steve acts like he's dying, right? He disappears. Steve doesn't even tell him his plan. He just straight disappears. He shows up as an old man,
into the water and
gives the shield, to Sam, and then they say their goodbyes, but Cap's not dead. He's just old. So do they not visit him ever? Like, what is going on?
I have wondered about that. I did find that odd. I forget what I was thinking about with something, and I was like, yeah, I feel like they should have done that in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, they should have gone and visited him. Like, hey, you gonna tell us about that girl yet?
Hey, dude, like, I know you're old, but you didn't freaking die. You're still alive, dude.
They should go visit him, and the nurse will be like, well, he can't tell you because he doesn't remember his wife.
There could have been a funeral for Captain America if he was dead.
Like they did with Peggy.
I don't know, man.
I'm so glad they didn't make more Peggy.
I am too. But anyways, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Bucky is forgiven for all of his crimes. However, he must continue his therapy, which he even brings Sam to at one point. Now, they then fight the Flag Smashers. Yes. They bump heads with John Walker, who we just discussed. Throughout this, Bucky is making amends any way that he knows how to do, including helping an old man whose son he killed, solely because he saw Bucky do some extra bad Hydra killing. Bucky then helps train Sam and encourages him to be the next Captain America and not take the super soldier serum. Now, in the end, Bucky and Sam capture some Flag Smashers. They do some good work. They enjoy a barbecue in New Orleans together with a bunch of Sam's friends and family. And we will pick up what Bucky is up to after Lauren talks about Yelena.
So Yelena, we're now back to Black Widow. At the end credit scene takes place about this point. So it actually takes place during Hawkeye. Get the Bishop. Macaroni and cheese is delicious.
She's just chilling there. Yeah. Oh, God, I love her.
Everyone knows boxed mac and cheese is delicious. So we see Yelena visiting Nat's grave. So this is after Endgame. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine walks up blowing her nose because she's allergic to the Midwest. They know each other at this point as they've been working together. Yelena even asks for a raise, and instead Val tells her she has her next target. It's the guy who is responsible for Natasha's death, Clint Barton, a.k.a. Hawkeye.
God dang it, Clint. He already can't hear. Now we got to deal with being hunted by his best friend's sister. Jeez, man.
And his hearing aid has been smashed. So Yelena, this is now in Hawkeye.
Why are we beating up the disabled, man?
This is her first time in New York. People beat up Daredevil all the time.
But Daredevil has a very unfair advantage, okay? He's super sexy Riz. Okay, I'd beat Daredevil up too. Do you see the girls that man gets? I'm beating his ass too. All right? No.
Heather may be hot, but
Daredevil deserves it. Oh, Heather is... We're not talking about Heather.
Okay. So it's Yelena's first time in New York. She wants to see the new Statue of Liberty, which is the one we see in Spider-Man with the Captain America shield. But she has to kill Clint. She attacks Clint while he's fighting Echo and Kate Bishop. Yelena uses the Black Widow bite on Clint, and which Clint then tells Kate, like, you have to get out of this. It's just got a lot more dangerous because somebody has hired a Black Widow assassin. Clint tells Kate to back off for real. So Yelena breaks into Kate's and she makes some mac and cheese. And Kate wants to know why Yelena wants to kill Clint because her and Clint were BFF. Kate insists that she actually saved Yelena. Yelena, of course, laughs at that. And she tells her she's only in New York. Or Clint is only in New York to save his reputation, which there is truth to that. He did some evil stuff as Ronin. So he really is just trying to cover up his tracks as Ronin. I still
would have loved to gotten some of the Ronin, but whatever.
I feel like that's not done, especially with the fact that we learned that his wife was Mockingbird. Even though
there's still so much
canon, you have more than one Mockingbird. But okay, so she still thinks Natasha is only dead because of Clint. So Yelena's not entirely wrong. Clint really is trying to protect his reputation, like I just said. Yelena tells Kate that she was actually hired to kill Clint. She then asks Kate if she knows where Clint is. Kate, of course, says no. And then Yelena says not to get in the way again. But they are adorable together.
They're like little best friends. I love them so much together, man.
So Yelena then finds out who hired her. It was Eleanor Bishop, Kate's mom. She actually lets Kate know and sends her a text because she's like, I thought you deserved to know who hired me. Side note, Clint was hired to kill Echo's dad, who was hired by Kingpin, who was working with Eleanor Bishop, just to refresh your recollection.
No, you can't trust anybody in this universe, okay?
You really can't.
You really can't. You think you know a guy. And
then they put a hit on you. So while Clint and Kate are doing some undercover stuff at the Christmas party, Yelena shows up to kill Clint. Kate keeps trying to stop her. She even pushes all the elevators.
I love that elevator sequence.
Buddy the Elf style. That had to have been a nod to Buddy the Elf, right? It's Christmas Eve.
That was just funny because she hits all the buttons. They were like swatting each other back and forth. And then she takes off her costume. She's like, really?
She's like, was that on purpose? And she's like, yeah. She's like, no, it wasn't.
It's amazing. Oh my gosh.
So after an adorable and badass fight, Yelena eventually gets a hold of Clint in front of the Rockefeller Christmas tree as he's handling the last of the Trust Bros.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
they shrink the little car and the owl takes it off?
The Tracksuit Mafia. Yes.
Yeah. Which I think that one dude in Daredevil,
He
wasn't
was.
he Tracksuit Mafia?
He was
Yes,
Tracksuit
yeah, the
Mafia.
tracksuit.
Yes.
Okay.
But he didn't even give us
We
a
didn't
bro.
even talk about that. Yeah.
No.
They should
He didn't even give us a bro.
So Yelena tackles Clint and says before she kills him, she needs to know what happened. Clint tells her it's nice to finally meet her and then proceeds to tell her she'd never believe what actually happened, but that Natasha sacrificed herself to save the world. As they fight, Clint just defensively fights. As Yelena goes to shoot him, he does the whistle that I definitely cannot do, that I tried to do before, that her and Nat used to do when they were little. He then proceeds to tell her how Nat used to talk about her all the time. Yelena and Clint then have a very dramatic moment where Natasha was kind of honored and mourned for the first real time in the MCU. Yelena helps Clint up and just walks away. And that's actually the last time we have seen her. So why don't you wrap us up with a little more Val and a little more Bucky?
Yeah. So we do see Val in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, she shows up after the Wakandans and the Atlanteans fought near MIT and then kidnaps both Riri and Shuri. Everett Ross, who, Shuri's favorite colonizer, played by Bilbo Baggins himself.
Played by Martin Freeman. That's my uncle.
Know. He's Bilbo. Yeah, Bilbo. Anyways. Stayed in contact with the Wakandans, and he told them about Riri building a machine that can locate vibranium. He's also at the scene after everything goes down. We learn the two of them were married, and she is wondering how they could have known about Riri. The president wants to destabilize. She knows. The president wants to destabilize Wakanda. Val asks Ross for his opinion, says he's the expert, and he says not to attack Wakanda. Val knew the whole time he was talking with them, so she shows up at his house with handcuffs, arrests him, and that's when Okoye frees him. So that's kind of what we do see her show up at the very end of that movie. The post-credit scene is her showing up at Natasha's grave with Yelena.
But that happened before during Hawkeye. So Wakanda Forever happened after this. So we already talked about
all these timelines get crazy. My bad. Anyways, Bucky Barnes.
But I did it in chronological order.
Oh, God, you're better than me. The last place we saw Bucky was in Captain America New World Order, where he was trying to become a congressman. So the new Falcon gets badly injured. Sam is at the hospital and worried about him. And while watching Falcon's surgery, Bucky shows up. He's in a suit. They hug. They have a really cute bro moment. And Bucky's attire is due to the fact that he's running for Congress and has to go to a campaign fundraiser. So I'm very curious how that plays out if now he's back to doing Avenger stuff.
I'm guessing he didn't win.
And is Valentina a bad guy?
Valentina Allegra de Fontaine?
Well, in this universe, because in the comics, yes. But in this universe...
She's not a good guy.
She's not the bad guy.
He arrested everyone's favorite colonizer. Like, he's a good dude.
I guess I'm just kind of confused on her stance on.
She's going to be that villain you love to hate. She's fun. She's in it for herself. I do love her.
I do.
Okay, so Martin Freeman or Everett Ross even says to her, could you imagine what America would have done if they got all that of vibranium? Like, thinking like how powerful.
Well, we almost found out in Captain America with the
dream about it all the time. Wait, with the adamantium.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Dude, I'm excited for this movie. They've marketed it extremely well. It looks so good. The early reactions are really good. And I'm curious, this is really the first movie since they've course corrected to see where things go. So I'm super pumped.
And it should be tying all the movies and shows we just went through, like it should be tying all that together.
It should. Yeah, 100%. And I guess we'll see. We'll find out this coming week. Time will tell. But that's a wrap, man. Enjoy the movie. If you've seen spoilers, don't spoil it for people. Don't be that guy. Don't be a dick. Rule number 1. And let us know what you're most excited about because, dude, it's already May, so it's gonna be May. We have Thunderbolts.
Well, it should be April today. It's almost May.
Well, May 2nd is when the movie officially comes out, so May 2nd, and then June we got some Jurassic Park. Okay, whatever. Yeah, but Ironheart's supposed to come out in June, and then we have July 11th is Superman. July 25th is Fantastic Four. In August is Peacemaker. So us nerds are really, really doing well right now.
We need to start stretching to start dancing to Peacemaker again.
Oh yeah, we do. We got to relearn the dance. We got to relearn it all. I can't remember I don't even know.
I wonder if they'll do it. They got to keep that opener.
They
It's too
have
good.
to, man. The opener was a freaking
They
banger. But yeah, I have no idea. That's all we have for this, though. Let us know what you think about, the Thunderbolts, what you're excited for. Maybe some comics you're reading, what we might have messed up on, what we left out. Shout out to our Patreons for supporting the show. We will see them. Come join our Discord. Come get ad-free episodes. Come get movie nights. We just watched Beaster Day with our Patreons, which I love awful B-rated movies, but we're into some good stuff right now, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you guys on Wednesday, where we talk with Zach Kaplan. And then next week actually starts our Star Wars month with some Revenge of the Sith tied in with the end of Clone Wars, because Revenge of the Sith hit theaters for its 20th anniversary. My personal favorite Star Wars film. You look like you wanted to say something.
No, I was going to start singing Star Wars, but I stopped.
The Empire's in turmoil. Some of the Star Wars stuff is really starting to feel too real life to me. Can we calm it down a little bit, please, guys? Thanks. But we'll see you guys next time. May the Force be with you all. And cheers.